We want to tell you about MMTV's coverage of the upcoming 4th of July parade. For the second year in a row, our TV department will stream the 4th of July parade live from the end of the parade route near the convention center. That's not all. Later that night, the MMTV crew will bring you our fireworks presentation, also streamed live. Both events will be carried on our YouTube and cable TV channels. So, if you're in town and can't make it out, or out of town and can't make it in, MMTV is your source for Independence Day in Monroeville. Time now for the interactive part of our show. This is where we seek your questions to be answered right here on Monroeville at your service. We'll take your questions via Facebook or email with that information listed here. Just one submission this month, but it's certainly a good one. It comes from Andrea, and she expressed her displeasure about the on-street parking in Monroeville. She says, in part, that she wants on-street parking laws on our neighborhood streets changed, and adds, it's a real inconvenience whenever someone is parking on the street behind my driveway. So Andrea, that's a great question, and certainly it's a concern if someone has a challenge pulling out onto the road with a car blocking their visibility of what might be coming at them. And quite frankly, in the municipal history of Monroeville, parking has been something that we've had to change with the times. And what do I mean by that? As time progressed in Monroeville, being a suburban World War II community, to now, we are noticing that there are more cars per household than there used to be. In fact, sometimes at some places, more cars than the garage or the driveways can handle. Think about having teenage drivers with mom and dad or kids in their 20s still living with their parents, with their cars. And what that's creating is sometimes challenges. And so how the council has handled this situation is on a case-by-case basis, and it works like this. Citizens of a certain neighborhood can petition the council to consider passing an ordinance to restrict on-street parking. If it's deemed to be a way to handle a situation or improve safety on that street, council will pass an ordinance, Public Works will install signs, and the Monroeville PD will enforce the new law. There are, I would like to add though, some restrictions, particularly as it comes to wintertime snow events, and we want everybody in any neighborhood to try to be off the street during those events, particularly overnight when our road crews are out plowing for snow. But certainly I would encourage you, Andrea, if this is an issue in your neighborhood, to talk to your neighbors, see if others support the restriction of parking on your street, and petition council to consider passing an ordinance and see if we can make it safe in your community. But I imagine it will continue to evolve as, again, our community evolves. This month's Manager's Minute relates to my experience at the Monroeville Foundation Community Day, and what an experience it was. From the first moment I arrived at Community Park West, through the whole time I was there, I was so impressed about how many people came out to volunteer and serve their community. There were people parking cars, there were people setting up for the race and taking in registration, the ambulance service, all of them. I could not believe the numbers. And then I went over to the booths and I saw the different community organizations, from our library staff and their volunteers to our animal shelter and its volunteers. It was incredible. And it really struck me of how wonderful Monroeville is and what a deep history there must be to have this kind of volunteerism in our community. And quite frankly, it goes back to the founding of our country. In the 1820s, Alexis de Tocqueville, a French philosopher, came to the United States to observe what made America special. And what he noticed was a certain esprit de corps, a service of one another, whether it was groups and organizations like churches or other brotherhood organizations within communities. People served one another and looked to meet their needs. And I certainly saw that on display at the Monroeville Foundation Community Day. All day, people gave up their Saturday, and instead of cutting grass or taking care of washing the car and doing chores at home, they served their community. And it was very, very inspirational. I would encourage you, if you haven't in a while, to consider how you might be able to serve your community. And it could be your church, and it could be your neighborhood, or it could be simply as meeting the neighbor next door and seeing how you can help them out. It's things like that that make living in this community special and really make me proud to be here serving Monroeville. Be on the lookout for upcoming editions of Monroeville at your service. Next month, we'll have highlights of the 4th of July parade and much, much more. Find our show on our cable TV channels, Comcast 21 and Verizon 45, as well as all episodes archived on the MMTV YouTube page. Whichever platform you found us on today, thanks for watching. We'll be back next month with another fabulous edition of Monroeville at your service. Until then, stay well and be blessed.